Losing strength, poor balance, muscle thinning, or even difficulty standing from a chair after 60 can feel frustrating. This is often caused by sarcopenia, which is age-related muscle loss that happens when your body's natural repair process slows down. As a doctor who has treated thousands of older patients for mobility decline over the past 15 years, I know firsthand that this can be reversed. In this video, we'll look at 3 simple exercises that fight this issue every single day. Stay with me until the end for a bonus muscle repairing tip that does not involve food. Let's begin with the foundational movement that builds lower body power, protects against falls, and supports joint stability: the mighty chair squat. The chair squat might sound simple, but it is one of the most powerful exercises you can do after 60 to protect your strength and independence. Why? Because it directly activates your glutes, quadriceps, and hamstrings. These are the muscles most responsible for keeping you upright, walking, climbing stairs, and even maintaining your balance if you trip. When these muscles begin to shrink from underuse or age, your risk of falling goes up sharply, and your mobility decreases just as fast. Chair squats also stimulate what are known as type 2 muscle fibers. These are your fast twitch fibers, and they help with quick movements like standing up, avoiding a fall, or catching yourself when you stumble. But these fibers shrink faster than any others once you pass 60, especially if you don't use them. So, if you want to maintain your ability to move quickly and powerfully, you've got to train them. And this movement is one of the best ways to do that without putting stress on your joints. Another big benefit of chair squats is their ability to load your bones. Many people over 60 deal with osteopenia or osteoporosis, which weakens the bones and raises the chance of fractures. When you perform a squat, even a bodyweight one, it applies gentle stress to your femur and hip bones, helping them stay dense and strong. Are you currently doing anything daily to help your bones rebuild? If not, start here and let me know in the comments if this is something you'll begin. In fact, research from Harvard Medical School showed that doing chair squats regularly improved strength and walking ability in older adults more than just walking did. This matters because walking alone does not challenge your muscles in the same way strength-building movements do. So, if you thought walking was enough, it may be time to think again. Now, from my own experience as a doctor who has worked with thousands of older adults for more than 15 years, I can tell you this: chair squats are usually the first movement I recommend. I have seen people in their late 70s go from barely being able to get out of a chair to confidently standing and walking around the house. And they did it by staying consistent with this single movement. So, how exactly do you do a chair squat properly? Start by standing in front of a firm, non-rolling chair. Your feet should be about shoulder width apart. To initiate the movement, slowly push your hips backward as if you were going to sit. Then bend your knees and lower your body down gently, just until your glutes lightly touch the chair. The key here is not to sit fully. That breaks the muscle engagement. Instead, once you feel the chair touch your body, immediately push through your heels to rise back up. Keep your chest tall, shoulders back, and knees in line with your toes at all times. Aim to do 3 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions every day. And yes, I said every day. Why? Because consistent low-impact stimulation is far more effective for older adults than 1 or 2 intense weekly sessions. The more often you activate your muscles, the more you encourage them to repair and grow. To get the most out of this exercise, try a few technique tips. First, focus on keeping your weight in your heels, not the balls of your feet. This protects your knees and activates the back of your legs more. Second, exhale as you rise. That breath helps engage your core and provides support for your spine. And third, use your arms out in front of you to help with balance if needed. If your knees tend to cave inward as you squat, use a mirror or record yourself on your phone to check. Weak hips often cause this inward motion, which can lead to knee pain over time. Adding a small resistance band around your thighs can help correct this and strengthen the right muscles. Now, if you are just starting out or feel unsteady, place your hands lightly on your thighs for extra support. That is a great way to build confidence. By the second week, you might feel strong enough to squat without support, and maybe even add a light resistance band just above your knees. In the third week and beyond, you could hold light dumbbells in each hand to increase the challenge, or simply squat lower while maintaining control. But be cautious of some common mistakes. A big one is rounding your back as you go down. This puts unnecessary pressure on your spine and takes the effort away from your legs. Always keep your chest lifted. Another mistake is letting your knees go far beyond your toes. That can strain the front of your knees. You want the knees to stay aligned over your ankles, not shooting forward. And remember, fully sitting on the chair, each rep turns this into a rest, not an exercise. So when should you do these squats? The best time is in the morning. This wakes up your muscles and increases blood flow to your legs, which can also reduce morning stiffness. Or, if you prefer, tie it to a daily habit, like brushing your teeth. Right after brushing, do your squats. That makes it easier to stay consistent. Have you ever tried chair squats before? Were you doing them this way, or were there things you just learned that will change how you move? I would love to hear from you in the comments. Now that your legs are engaged, let's move upward to stabilize your core and spine. This next one works wonders for posture and balance. Let's explore the standing march with arm drive. Before we continue, I would genuinely love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments where you are watching from and what your biggest challenge is right now when it comes to building back lost strength. If reversing muscle loss is your priority, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss practical steps like these. If this is valuable to you, type 1 below. The standing march with arm drive is one of the most underrated exercises for adults over 60, yet its impact can reach all the way from your spine to your brain. This single movement helps you rebuild deep core muscles, improve your gait, enhance balance, and even increase blood circulation through the entire body. It's low impact, does not need any equipment, and can be done in any room with a little space. Let's take a more detailed look at why this is so important. As you age, your core muscles, especially around the lower back, abdomen, and hips, start to weaken. These muscles do more than just support your belly. They help stabilize every movement you make, from walking to turning around to getting up from a chair. Weak core muscles are one of the most overlooked causes of poor balance and spinal discomfort in older adults. So, strengthening them without stress on the spine becomes absolutely critical. Have you ever felt like your balance or posture just isn't what it used to be? This could be why. But that is only half of what this movement does. It also improves the coordination between your upper and lower body. As one knee lifts and the opposite arm swings, your brain must work to synchronize both halves of the body. This stimulates the central nervous system and retrains pathways that tend to weaken when activity levels drop. From my years working with patients in post-rehab recovery and long-term mobility care, I've seen this movement rebuild lost coordination far more effectively than any sit-up or floor exercise ever did, especially because it's accessible and easy to practice consistently. And here is something even more interesting. Research out of Tufts University has shown that walking speed is one of the most reliable predictors of long-term survival in older adults. Yes, something as simple as how quickly and steadily you walk. Why does that matter here? Because this march-based movement mimics a walking pattern, but makes your muscles and brain work harder to stay upright and rhythmically balanced. The result is not just better core strength, but noticeable improvements in walking form and speed over time. Now let's look at how to do it correctly. Stand tall with your feet aligned under your hips and your arms relaxed at your sides. Slowly lift your right knee until it's about level with your waist. At the same time, raise your left arm, elbow slightly bent as if you are power walking in place. Then bring both back down gently and repeat on the other side. Alternate sides for a full 60 seconds, keeping a steady, comfortable pace. Try to complete 3 rounds like this daily. When doing this movement, there are a few technique tips that can make a big difference. First, stand near a countertop or wall when you're starting out, just in case you need support. This is not cheating. It builds confidence. Second, focus on purposefully swinging your arms, not letting them dangle. This active movement stimulates your shoulders, upper back, and the supporting postural muscles that tend to shut down with inactivity. Third, pull your belly muscles in gently, not so tight that you can't breathe, but enough to support your spine. This trains the transverse abdominis, a deep abdominal muscle that acts like a natural corset for your midsection. Finally, do not forget to breathe. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. This helps regulate blood pressure and keeps your muscles oxygenated as they work. Holding your breath might feel natural when concentrating, but it reduces effectiveness and increases tension. Let's gain a deeper understanding of the actual benefits happening as you move. One major result is improvement in proprioception. That is your body's ability to sense its position in space, and it tends to weaken with age. Better proprioception helps prevent missteps, trips, and stumbles. This movement also strengthens the hip flexors, a group of muscles that are responsible for lifting your legs when you walk. If these are weak, walking becomes more of a shuffle and much less stable. Do you notice yourself shuffling more when you walk, especially after sitting? That could be a sign these muscles need attention. Another benefit is that this exercise slightly raises your heart rate, which boosts circulation to the brain and limbs. That helps with focus, coordination, and energy, things that many adults feel start to fade after 60. Comment below if you've noticed mental fog or slower reflexes lately. I'd love to hear your experience with that. Let's take a closer look at how you can make this more challenging once it becomes easy. After a week or two, try holding very light hand weights. 1 or 2 pounds is enough. This gives more resistance to the arm movement and helps tone your shoulders and arms. If you feel steady and want to push a bit more, you can increase the speed of the march slightly, as long as you stay in full control. For some people, adding soft ankle weights under 1 pound can take this movement to the next level by engaging the lower limbs more deeply, but always increase slowly and only if you feel stable and confident. Let's talk quickly about some mistakes to avoid. One common error is arching the back as you raise the knees. That happens when the core is not engaged. If you feel your lower back tensing, pause and reset your form. Another issue is lifting the knees too high or swinging the arms too wildly. This turns a controlled strengthening movement into a flailing motion that can hurt more than help. And whatever you do, do not hold your breath. It disrupts your body's rhythm and makes your blood pressure spike. Keep breathing steady. When should you do this exercise? The ideal time is mid-morning or early afternoon, after your body is warmed up but before you start feeling too tired. You can even do this with some music on. Adding rhythm through music helps improve your timing and makes it more fun. Some people like to use this as a short movement break during their day, especially if they sit a lot. Even 2 rounds spread out during the day can make a difference in your posture and energy levels. Have you ever tried any standing core exercise like this before? What do you feel when doing it? More balance, better posture, or even clearer thinking? Drop a comment below and let me know how it works for you. If this video is helping you, go ahead and tap the like button, not just for me, but for the thousands of older adults who are still struggling to regain muscle and strength. Every like pushes this video out to more people who need real answers. Let's reach them together. We've powered the legs and fired up the core. Now, let's strengthen your body's upper framework. The next one builds muscle, improves grip strength, and restores shoulder mobility. Let's break down the wall push-up. The wall push-up might not look intense, but when done correctly, it can activate your chest muscles, your shoulders, your triceps, and even your core all at the same time. That combination is critical because these muscle groups are responsible for everyday tasks like pushing open a door, lifting a bag, or even reaching overhead to grab a plate. And for many people as they age, those small tasks can start to feel harder and more frustrating if upper body strength is not maintained. Let's gain a deeper understanding of why this particular movement matters more than people think. Posture naturally starts to decline over the years, especially with prolonged sitting and phone or screen use. That leads to rounded shoulders, forward head position, and a weakened upper back. But wall push-ups, when done properly, activate the muscles that support the spine and pull the shoulders into better alignment. You might not feel it instantly, but with consistent practice, the improvement in posture becomes noticeable even while sitting or walking. What is even more interesting is that research from Mayo Clinic has directly linked upper body strength to increased life expectancy and better recovery after illness or hospitalization. That means maintaining your ability to push, reach, and support your own body weight is not just about looking fit, it is about building resilience. When strength fades in these key areas, independence can be lost very quickly. So ask yourself, how is your current upper body strength holding up? Could you comfortably push yourself up from a table or support yourself in a fall? Drop a comment below and tell me where you feel your weakest point is. Now, let's break this movement down step by step so you can perform it correctly and see real progress. Stand about an arm's length from a flat wall, ideally where you have a clear space with no frames or hanging objects. Keep your feet hip-width apart for stability. Place your hands on the wall at shoulder height and make sure your fingers are pointing straight up. As you inhale, slowly bend your elbows and bring your chest toward the wall while keeping your back flat and your heels grounded. Then exhale and press yourself back to the starting position in a smooth, controlled motion. This is not about speed. It is about building control and coordination between your arms, core, and spine. Aim for 3 sets of 10 to 15 repetitions with a 30-second rest between sets. That short break allows your muscles to recover just enough to go again without straining. And when you do it regularly, you will feel your shoulders become more stable and your arms less tired during basic tasks. Keep in mind that how you position your elbows makes a big difference. They should be angled slightly downward at about 45 degrees, not sticking straight out to the sides. That position protects your shoulder joints and prevents unnecessary stress. Let's examine how you can make the wall push-up more or less challenging depending on your fitness level. If you want to increase the intensity, step your feet farther from the wall. The farther back you go, the more body weight your arms have to manage. For those just starting or recovering from injury, standing a little closer will make it easier to control. If you are looking to advance the move further, try pausing halfway down for a 2-second hold. That builds endurance and strength in the chest and arms. Another variation involves using the edge of a table while seated, which gives you a different angle and works the same muscles with a bit more support. You can also use a door frame for slightly deeper range of motion and more resistance. Let's continue with a few common mistakes you want to avoid. One is bending from the hips, which causes your back to arch or sag. That takes the focus off the upper body and increases the risk of lower back strain. Keep your body in a straight line from head to heel. Another mistake is locking the elbows fully when returning to the start. Doing that puts pressure on your joints instead of your muscles. Always maintain a soft bend at the top. Also, avoid letting your shoulders shrug toward your ears. That tends to happen when your neck is tense or your form is off. Keep your shoulder blades gently pulled back and down throughout the move. The best time to do wall push-ups is often in the early evening or after a light walk when your blood is already flowing and your muscles are warm. I personally suggest doing them near the kitchen wall or hallway where you tend to walk by often. That way, you can attach the habit to an existing routine, like making tea or tidying up after dinner. This kind of habit stacking helps people stay consistent without needing extra reminders or motivation. Stick with me until the end because the final two strategies are often completely overlooked, yet they could make the biggest difference in reversing muscle loss. One of them surprised even me, and I have not seen many people talk about it. Now that your daily movement plan is complete, let's boost your results even more with something that is not an exercise, but plays a powerful role in preserving your muscle mass as you age. Let's get into the surprising bonus of how deep quality sleep repairs and rebuilds your muscles night after night. The time you spend resting at night is one of the most critical windows for rebuilding muscle tissue. During deep sleep, your body releases the highest levels of growth hormone, which is one of the main drivers for repairing and strengthening muscle fibers that have been used during the day. If you skip quality sleep, you interrupt this process, which can leave your muscles weaker and slower to respond over time. Let's take a closer look at how this works. When you sleep deeply, your body's hormonal environment shifts in a way that favors repair. Growth hormone levels rise naturally, and at the same time, your cortisol levels drop. Cortisol is often called the stress hormone, and in excess, it leads to muscle breakdown. So if your sleep is poor or too short, cortisol remains high, and the body struggles to retain lean muscle. This gets even more important as you age because your ability to produce growth hormone already declines with time. Another layer to this is how sleep affects your insulin sensitivity. When you get deep, uninterrupted rest, your cells respond better to insulin, which helps you absorb and use protein more efficiently. This is crucial because even if you eat the right amount of protein, your muscles may not benefit unless your body can process it properly. A study from the University of California showed that older adults who had disrupted or inadequate sleep saw nearly a 20% drop in muscle protein synthesis, even though they had the same food intake as those who slept well. That difference can determine whether you maintain muscle mass or gradually lose it, even while staying active. So how do you support your sleep to maximize this muscle repair window? About 1 hour before bedtime, avoid any screens like phones or television, since the blue light they emit can block melatonin, the hormone that signals your body to get ready for sleep. Instead, spend just 2 minutes doing gentle breathing while stretching your arms or back. These simple actions help shift your nervous system into a more relaxed state. One habit I often recommend to patients is taking 1 scoop of collagen peptides in warm almond milk or caffeine-free herbal tea about 30 to 45 minutes before bed. Collagen supports connective tissue and muscle recovery, and the warm drink helps signal your body that it is time to wind down. Some people may also benefit from magnesium glycinate, around 200 to 300 milligrams, which helps muscles relax and may improve sleep depth. But always check with your healthcare provider first, especially if you take medications or have a sensitive digestive system. A practical evening routine could look like this. Dim the lights by 9 in the evening to help trigger melatonin naturally. Have your collagen drink by 9:15, which gives it time to be absorbed. Aim to be in bed by 9:45, which allows your body to get close to 8 full hours of sleep. This rhythm supports not just better recovery, but also better energy, mood, and strength during the day. How does your current bedtime routine compare? Is there anything you might shift tonight to give your muscles more recovery time? Drop a comment below and let me know what your wind down process looks like and if you think this routine might help you. Now that you've got the full strategy, let's go over everything briefly so you can put it into action without second guessing anything. So, here is your daily checklist to keep your strength on track. Start your day with chair squats to activate your leg muscles and support joint stability. Follow that with the standing march with arm drive to stimulate your core, build better balance, and improve the coordination between your arms and legs. Use wall push-ups to strengthen your upper body, boost your posture, and maintain functional power in your chest and arms. Finally, end your day with a consistent nighttime routine that supports deep, restful sleep while feeding your muscles with collagen to help them rebuild stronger. These are not just habits, they are your daily foundation for aging with confidence and control. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if these steps feel realistic for your routine. Like this video if it helped, subscribe if you want more support like this.